Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's pour. Tonight's pour is going to be a Hot Wheels themed painting. Now I still have some commission pieces to do, but I don't know. I love doing commission pieces for people, but then again, I hate doing commission pieces for people because then I feel pressured of getting it right, and then I put it off because I don't want that pressure of having to get it right, which is kind of weird because every time I've done a commission piece, they've loved it, and usually on the first try. The ones I'm doing now, I'm doing two for this lady, and I did the first two, sent her pictures of it. I didn't like them myself. She didn't like them. So I've done one of them. Again, I've sent her the pictures and I haven't heard back from her, and I have one more to do. So, but I get to where I don't really want to do it. And so I do the things I want to do instead of the stuff I should be doing. So that's what I'm doing tonight, what I want to do. So, I'm going with a car that I've had for a while. This is I think this Hot Wheel came out in 2000 because it says 2000 first editions on it. So I've had it for 22 years because I believe this was the year that I tried to buy every car that came out that year. Normally I just buy cars that interest me, that I like, but that was the one year out of when I was collecting them. And I wasn't a big collector, but when I was collecting them, that was the one year I decided to go and try to get each one, and I didn't get each one that was that came out that year in that series. But this one is a 2000 first editions Grease Lightning. Now, when I think of Grease Lightning, I think of the car in Grease Lightning, and I think there was a song about it too, or not in Grease Lightning, but in the movie Grease. The car was Grease Lightning, and I think John Travolta and some of his boys sang about it. So this is the car. It's kind of a funky looking, wild looking car, long, thin. It's got some blue on there, some pink. So I'm going to go with a silver background because it is a silver car. I am going to use some blue, and I don't know if it's pinkish, a purplish, pinkish purple. I am not doing that. I decided to go with a copper just because I wanted to try a silver and copper, but I'm going to add a little bit of blue to it, and I'm going to put some white in it. Now I've already got my paints mixed and I got my paint down on the canvas. So all I got to do is adjust the camera and we'll get started. All right, so as you can see, I have the paint down. I intentionally made these lines in it with my palette knife just to give it texture. As you know, when you use metallic paints, it's easy to do that, and it just gives a little extra. So I think what I'm going to do is put the blue down first. And I think I'm going to go light. That's a thin car, so I kind of want to have a thin. Use copper. And just a little bit of white. We got some more silver. So if we have the car right there, I'm just going to do a few modifications on this one just because it's so straight right there. I do want it out a little bit. Just a little bit, not much. All right, I think that's what we're going to leave it with. All right, so we have, this one is dried. This is on a 10 by 20 canvas. I've got the back taped, as you can see, with the tape on the back. Why do we tape it? Well, we tape it because when the resin runs off, it'll be dropping. I've thought of what I call droplets, and then they'll harden at some point. So then you got all these little bumps or droplets hanging there. What the tape does is in the morning, it's about 10:30 at night right now. So in the morning, about 7 o'clock, I'll come down here and I'll just peel this up and it'll pull those droplets off. Lickety split. Have a nice clean edge on it. Now I'm using Pro Marine resin. And since we have a 10 by 20 canvas, I already know the answer to this, but I go to Art Resin Calculator on the web, and you can type in any size canvas and it'll tell you exactly how much resin you will need. And that answer that you get, the total amount of resin, is both the hardener and epoxy together. So since this is a mix, and you have to go half and half, 50-50. So for this one is 7 ounces, so I went 3.5 of the epoxy and 3.5 of the hardener. So remember that when you're using the Art Resin Calculator, that is not 7 ounces of each one. So it's a great tool because resin is not cheap, and this way you're not wasting resin. And I've done some pieces before I found this Art Resin Calculator, just trying to figure out, oh, I think I'm going to need this much to do this size canvas. And then it seemed like I always had way too much mixed, because honestly I would rather have more mixed than less. More than I need than not enough, I guess would be the better way to say that. Because it'll take you longer to mix, and your resin's hardening as you're going over time. So you don't have, a great amount of time. I think they usually say about 15-20 minutes to work with it before it really gets hard enough that you're not going to be able to like spread it out with your hands like I've been doing. So let me grab my chair, blow these out, blow these air bubbles out. And like I say in all my videos, at least I think so, when I'm resining, you need a lot of light and I have a pretty good light for this. It's a fluorescent light, I guess. I don't know, LED light. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of a flat bar light, and it's adjustable. But I have it going across like this, so I have a good glare coming off, and I can see the bubbles real well. And that's what you need. You need something that will give you that shine so you can see that stuff. Because for me, I don't like to see air bubbles in it when it dries. It doesn't have that really glass look to it. When you got a bunch of bubbles in there, it's just, to me, it's defective of some sort. I don't know if defective is the right word, but it's a flaw in it, as I see it. I guess would be the best way to say it. So I torch. I torch it till I really don't see any more popping, which takes a while for some reason. And those bubbles get in there when you're mixing. As you're mixing those two ingredients around, it's creating air pockets, little air bubbles. I've actually seen little bubbles float out if I get to stirring a little too fast. Like you know, when you're a kid blowing bubbles with your little ring thing and blowing through and blowing out a big bubble. And it goes floating off in the air, and the dog likes chasing them and popping them and trying to eat them. But yeah, I've seen little resin air bubbles float up because I probably was just stirring it too fast. All right, I think I got enough. We'll set it here. So we have our car here, and so the motion is kind of like that. So I think I want to get it right in there, right in that blue. This one's a little different kind of car than normal because it's got these things that actually are going to go down into the resin as well, which is no big deal, but so there's your piece. And as you can see, it did drift a little bit. The cells right here expanded overnight when it was drying. So I did lose a little bit, but it's still not too bad. So if you like this video, like this piece, hit the like button, leave a comment. Oh, I'm out of breath. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe if you like my content. Help my page to grow, it helps me. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much.